I thought you would. That's great. Don't wait. Sweet, sweet. Gee, I knew you could.
So everything I would ever hear from when my grandparents came over to visit was Miller's history. And so when you grow up, during your formative years, hearing nothing but Miller's history, you can't help but get hooked. First, when I found my first bottle that had my name on it, I became very interested. That was interesting. That was about 1887 when it was first suggested that they call it Cliquot Club. My great-grandfather was bottling champagne cider back then. And there's a huge, very successful champagne company in France, the Cliquot Champagne Company. And Henry Millis, as the story goes anyway, Henry Millis suggested they call it Cliquot because it looked so much like the Cliquot champagne. So they called it Cliquot Club. But the first Cliquot product was actually nothing more than a label change of LaCroix champagne cider. And LaCroix had been making champagne cider since the Civil War. A year or two later, just basically started to focus on the bottling of the cider. Henry Millis had just recently moved to town. He had money. Charles had the bottling knowledge. So the two just came together, and it was like a synergy of minds. The Cliquot Club brand name was the premier ginger ale in the country, domestic ginger ale in the country, by 1893. It was nationally known at that point. In 1893, they were the first soft drink manufacturer to put a bottle cap on a bottle. They started in Millis. It was always their home base. And 1901, when Kimball first came to town, was really when the company started to explode. The one thing you can say about the Cliquot Club company is they were advertising pioneers. They did it all. Anything you can dream of that you could put the Cliquot Club logo on, they did it. They had the largest animated sign in the world in Times Square between 1924 and 1926. The Eskimo in the sleigh whipping his huskies with the big quart of ginger ale in back of and right at Times Square. And they were filling up 25 rail cars of soft drinks every single week for like 2 or 3 or 4 years right in a row, and shipping to all corners of the continent. In 1938, the Cliquot Club company became the first soft drink bottlers to put a soft drink in a can, which was also quite something. I mean, you talk to people today and they don't even heard of the Cliquot Club company, but the first Cliquot Club quart bottle was put up in 1934. They were the first ones to put a soft drink in a quart bottle. Everybody was fighting to own the logo, the Eskimo logo, because that was a hugely popular product logo back in the day. They were using the Cliquot Club Eskimo from 1913 right up until they stopped making sour, vanilla soda, sarsaparilla, birch beer. These, orange phosphate, these were the products of the day. 1970, they were still bottling in town. And me and my buddy would walk down the railroad tracks and just yell into the production area window. He said, "Duty, give us a quart of soda." And Duty Jones would hand us a couple warm quarts of soda out the window, and we'd be on our way, and he'd get back to work. Whenever the guys who came back from World War II, they all had stories about finding Cliquot Club ginger ale over in the Netherlands or in France. And so it's interesting to hear these guys when you're at a board meeting and you get Sliver Murphy or one of these guys talking about finding ginger ale overseas. It's pretty cool. They stopped making Cliquot product back in 1980. They don't make it anymore. But it was, for probably close to 40 years, the largest ginger ale manufacturer in the world. So for 99 years, they made ginger ale right here in town. Didn't quite make a century.
Each little rosebud is sleeping, while shadows are creeping. In a little cottage cozy, the world seems rosy at sundown.